Definitely saw a test of the new cameras and they were very impressive. Much better than what I'm seeing right now. You can turn them on, so what would that mean?
I turned them on. I just turned them on.
So he could still see him on the Zoom, but if he went to his,
Live.
if you went to the live stream, Steve, you could see on the home page, the web page, you could see the new cameras.
Much better.
Is that the new camera?
Would the audio be on too?
Thank you.
The audio is.
When I was watching it earlier, it was
Yeah,
not.
yeah, he had to adjust some volume.
But I'm gonna go here. Yeah, exactly.
We're almost up to.
This is what the new cameras look like.
We're almost up to 1990 technology.
Right? I looked at them, best of security. New millennium has to offer. All right, are we ready to get started here? 6:05, I'm calling together the regular meeting of the River Oaks Economic Development Corporation. Would you like to do invocation?
I can't vote you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't ask you.
No, it's all right. We're just doing a pledge, right? Or we're praying. Invocation's prayer, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Sorry, guys. All right. Dear Lord, thank you for this day and for bringing us together. Thank you for finally making it cold outside. We were suffering, so we appreciate that. Thank you for keeping us healthy. Thank you for keeping our city healthy and strong. And we ask that you give us the strength to make the right decisions that benefit our city and its growth and to work well as a team. And we ask you to keep our family and loved ones and friends safe throughout this holiday season and give us strength through that as well. And again, we thank you for bringing us together. Amen.
Amen.
American flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Frank, how'd she do? How'd she do?
Is it okay?
Glad to see you again. A couple of new visitors tonight. All right, so public testimony, citizens are invited to speak on any topic on the agenda. However, unless the item is specifically noted on this agenda, the Economic Development Corporation is required under the Texas Open Meetings Act to limit its response with a statement of specific factual information reciting the city's existing policy on that issue or directing the person making the inquiry to visit with city staff about the issue. No EDC board deliberation is permitted. Anyone have anything they'd like to say tonight? All right, we'll move on to member roll call. Place one. I didn't even know what the places were, but it looks like we're all here. And Steve is online.
Yeah.
If somebody's had a chance to look at the minutes, we'll entertain a motion for that.
I'll move through the minutes. Second.
Have a motion and second. Any further discussion?
Of the October 9th, 2023 meeting.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. There's a mustache missing here, isn't there?
Yes.
Looks good. I think you lowered your lip there. All right.
Fruit shaving accident.
Right. So does that move us on? Okay. So number 7 is discussion or action as requested by the Christmas Parade Committee to expend city promotional funds for this year's city Christmas parade and festivities. Yeah. Where'd he go?
Come back.
Yeah,
The audio. Sorry. was testing some things.
Councilman Brett Forrester is here representing the Christmas Parade, slash Winter Wonderland Committee.
Yeah.
Winter Wonderland.
Yeah, so we are bringing it back again this year. We want to continue doing it every year. This year we have changed up the parade route, so we will be going down the boulevard both ways. And then one of our changes that after doing it the first year, doing a live tree is a lot of work. You can ask Darren Houck because he got up in the bucket truck and was trying to put the lights on everything last year. So this year,
And they lost that volunteer.
yeah.
Just to be clear.
So going forward, we are going to, or we're wanting to do a Christmas tree on a flagpole. So it'll look something kind of like that. I'm trying to find the best one with the most lights and a star at the top. They are not cheap, and we are also wanting to start investing. Since last year was our first year, we did buy some good stuff that will last us a few years, but then we also bought some stuff that only lasted like 1 year, and we're wanting to start investing in stuff to where when we continue this, then when we started the sponsorship this year with local businesses, and we want to continue doing that, but we need to kind of build up and get, you know, more product to put out and stuff, like all the Christmas trees, and especially this, so we can continue putting this up every year to be a lot easier. So we're asking if EDC would be willing to donate $2,500 for us to be able to buy stuff and put up a stockpile to continue this.
And somehow I thought there was a lot more in this package than I'm seeing now.
No, it's not a very big package at all.
Okay. And so you'd mentioned some of, I guess, funds that we have in the budget for, I think you called it promotions?
City promotional.
City promotional. So is that all the same money, like I have mentioned, doing a 75th anniversary stuff?
There's 12,000 total. And we've got, all but 5,500 committed right now. The remainder is for Spring Fest, for the Christmas parade, and anything else that you wanted to do.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, like I didn't know if this gets into our ribbon cutting money, I don't know what all fits in that category, and if so, can that money be moved around if we
It can be moved around, yes.
deem necessary later?
I mean, promotional is what it is, but it could be moved around.
And that's 10% of the budget we can use.
Yeah, 10% of the entire budget. We
Thank you.
got a lot more than 12,000 is 10%, so. That's just what we budgeted.
Okay.
But Marvin, our
Yes.
budget's a lot more than 120,000.
What?
Correct.
The EDC budget is more, 12,000 is 10% of 120,000.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot more than that. You've got more than 36,000 you could use. But we didn't budget that. We budgeted 12. That's
Right,
right.
so my point is that we're not limited to the 12 if we decide.
No, you're not limited to it. No, sir.
And that's part of what I was trying to clarify, that if something else comes up that we want to invest in, is it, while EDC is doing well, we don't have a lot of other big projects, so that's usually my concern is not committing to year after year after year like we've done on some things, but personally, I've been in several of these meetings, I watched all these people work last year. I'm not near as involved this year as I was last year, but they're working very hard to bring something to our city, which seems to be the same thing I've been pushing for all along, so. But that was my main concern, is that was all of a sudden, first of all, you're making a statement there that I didn't realize that there's 5,500 that's not spoken for. I was thinking that was 5,500 total, and we're having to take all of these, because the flags and all that's in
More
there.
though.
Yeah, okay.
That's just what we budgeted.
Right.
Yeah.
And we did more last year. Right? We spent more last year?
No, last year we did 2,000 and 1,000 came from y'all and 1,000 came from
Oh,
parks.
that's right, too.
But we didn't feel comfortable going back to parks with everything that they're trying to do. and us not doing anything at the parks.
Yeah. The deal last year started out, it was gonna be at least one of the parks. And they committed their money, and then things changed, and they were gracious enough to leave their money in there.
Remember y'all did the lights too last year?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, so that wasn't for the parade, but yes, we did do the lights last year, and this year those lights are put in, which is less money because we took the initial cost
Yeah,
of purchase.
they're budgeted in the general fund, so we
So
got.
that's not even coming out of our fund.
And police, as it stands right now, will hopefully not, they will not, their overtime and stuff, they're getting other departments. Like last year, we had a cost of overtime for the police department. This year, they're getting, partnership with Westworth, Sampson Park, the constable, and the sheriff, I think. And so they're all sending a few people, so that way it's not costing them like it was last year,
Oh.
as it stands.
They told me today probably about 1,000.
They're helping each other out, in other words, in-kind donations.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which I know we used to do that quite a bit a long time ago, but I don't know what they've done in recent years. But
Well, to me, it makes sense to buy stuff that we can use year after year after year. I used to bring those catalogs back, and I was always told that we didn't have any place to store them. I think we've got a community center with upstairs that's probably got ample stuff if we get some of that other stuff out of there. But to me, it's, you buy it one time and you use it for years, so, and it just makes sense to me to use that stuff. And it seems like a lot of those places that have built those things over the years have a lot of things that traditionally families have come and taken pictures of in front of. I know some that I've seen in Fort Worth where little kids have taken, now they're taking their kids down there to take some of those pictures. One of them was the ones that used to be the wings downtown.
oh, when you stand in front, it looks like you've got the wings on it. Yeah.
To me, I think if we can find stuff like that, that people can build on a tradition and use that stuff, and we can use it year after year, to me, it just makes sense to do that.
I agree. I even saw a decoration locally. Might look into. It's shaped somewhat like a Christmas tree, but it is the permanent professional style decoration that is Christmas balls that start out about yay big around, and then they get smaller as they go up. It's $199 at Lowe's, and I think I can normally get quite a bit off of that. You know, what I could do too is buy it afterwards for next year.
For next year, yeah.
You'll probably get it 50% off, but anyway. And I have looked into and shared with them a lot of that stuff out of those catalogs, and they are pure D quality and price. So,
Depending on,
like we're looking at the
I did that here for sponsorship, I guess, for lack of a better term, from some of the businesses or individuals, depending on how much money they want to bring in.
we tried to make it small so it was easy for all local businesses. Don't even look up at me. But yeah, I tried to make them lower level so anybody could participate without costing a fortune. I did look into, so one of the ones I've had the most success with is one of the catalogs you gave me, downtown decorations, and we ordered our pole banners from them last year. We had a little bit of problems. It might have been installation error, and they gave us 6 free banners to make up for it, so that impressed me with their customer service. That was before I placed an order this year. But I checked with them on, I'd mentioned to you the artificial trees, that their big thing is storage and all that. They did have one a little bit cheaper than the others. Their smallest one starts out at $7,000. When I looked before, they started at about 10, and most of them started at 12, and they get up to 30, 40,000 pretty easy, but they collapse, and you can buy another. I think they're the others were 4-foot sections. I think theirs are 2-foot sections. You can buy another 2 foot each year to make it grow and not have your budget all at once, but anyway, I know we're not quite there yet, but
I like that. I like that light tree. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
Really
I
easy
talked
to store.
Talked to Jeremy today because his thing was like, where are you going to store it? And so I was showing him like what it's made out of, and it's essentially like a mesh material because you're using a flagpole to put it up. So the only storage you have is the flagpole and the base. And so we bounced ideas off of each other today after the stormwater about how the base would be out of concrete, and then he would have a middle section, and then we would put the flagpole in there and he would pin it. And then when they put this up, then he's going to tie it down with cable like they did last year, but then that way your flagpole can just be put, you know, it doesn't have to stay on that. He can unpin it, put it up.
That's awesome.
So,
I think it's cool.
and you're not wanting to use the existing flagpoles.
no, we can't. There's too much stuff around it. And this is going to go in the same spot that the Christmas tree went last year.
Okay.
So that way it's out, you know, where people can still see it.
And so how much money are y'all asking for?
2,500.
I'm making a motion that we expend $2,500 towards this year's Christmas festivities.
That's your whole motion?
Hmm?
That's the whole motion? Usually you have more, so I didn't want to jump in on it. I second that motion. I just didn't know if that was the end. I didn't want to jump on a
All
comment.
right?
Anything else y'all are gonna do other than that, are you gonna, I guess my question is anything else needed?
Yeah, we're gonna use some of that to buy more Christmas trees inside over here. I'm not sure if all of y'all came last year, but when you go in the annex building, there's a skylight, and we had like big Christmas balls hanging and stuff. So this year we're thinking of getting a 12-foot Christmas tree. So it kind of goes up into that skylight and it sits in the middle. So we'll have that expense, but we want to buy one that we can use year after year, and we need to buy some more table skirts. We just need to buy more stuff to be able to have more tables where the kids can write their letters to Santa, and just be able to put like a whole winter wonderland over in that annex building.
That part right there I thought was really cool. If we even did it last year, I did not realize it, but they're fixing up that little area in the library where you check out to make it look like it's a post office or whatever, and then giving a place for them to write their letters to Santa and go.
Well,
And
there's a Christmas display thing over in the corner where people were taking pictures or something.
And that's coming back again this year. So that's gonna be set up the same, except for we only had like a few Christmas trees on the end, and we're gonna expand on it.
Question, why aren't we, if we have more expense, why don't we lay them out and just put them in tonight? Didn't I just hear you say you have more expenses coming, or?
No, that's all gonna be in the 2,500,
Okay,
yeah.
let's see.
So they're also kind of trying to do like I was doing with the banners. Instead of spending the money go end to end, they're trying to add to it each year. And
Well, every time you have a promotion, you're gonna have some things, you should have some things permanent, some things you throw away. Some things you don't want to keep
all right,
for sanitary reasons or whatever.
well, and that's what I've seen them do. Some of the things they're buying are
Sure.
of quality to keep, and some are cheap enough to buy the cheaper version and throw it away, don't store it. And I think that we probably on the storage end will make room in the Christmas in Action, since it's Christmas. I think I can make room in the Christmas in Action deal, but I'm gonna reserve that till I see what you're really trying to store, because we need to get in there when we do need to get in there.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is part of that 2,500 the tree out there, or?
Yeah, let's purchase
That's
that tree.
yeah, that's that tree and everything, and the flagpole and everything, and then we have budgeted some more in that 2,500 for more stuff inside over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably around half of that is permanent stuff that should be here. Maybe not forever, but 5
I
to
would
10
say
years
actually
probably.
3/4 of it, actually, 75% of it would be for stuff that we're going to buy, so we can use it year after year.
And the problem with all this is more stuff gets damaged in breaking down and packing away and storing, and people are tired, and people are volunteers, and
And windstorms and
you know,
snowstorms.
so all of that stuff, it
The ones
is.
that are on that is Are they built into that?
It's like a mesh,
It's nothing but lights.
yeah.
So it doesn't, like in the daytime, it's just gonna be like wires and stuff coming down. You're not gonna see a real tree and no decorations.
I've found some where it doesn't come on that tree, but other people have hung like ornaments from it, so you can kind of see the shape of it during the day. And so I'm gonna look for some outdoor ornaments to put on it, so you can kind of see it throughout
But
the
the
day.
lights are not like the old style, one goes out, they all go out?
No, no.
Okay.
They're all LED.
That is the newfangled stuff.
Yeah.
So you need to talk to Shirley Wheat. She has some very large ornaments
Okay.
that are still in the box that she was offering to you guys, and I told her that she needed to talk to y'all, but last I heard it was all gonna be lights without, I said, but, you know, they might decorate it. She said they're the size of volleyballs,
Oh, then yeah, that's what we
so
need.
that'd be good for that
Yeah.
tree, or I thought you could do stuff indoors, but.
Yeah.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
And we did get you, Steve, we heard you. Let you know we're not forgetting. Well, kind of on the same subject then, number 8 is discussion or action request by President House to expend EDC proportional funds for the city's parade float that will represent the city in numerous holiday parades this year. Last year, I don't even remember, I think we gave them $250 for putting the float together and all that. They're doing it again. This year they didn't make it into the Fort Worth parade. They did make it into Stockyards parade, which they said is incredibly well attended and all that, so we get exposure there. Samson Park parade, and then they're still looking for others, but I didn't know what y'all's thoughts were on that. I think that I think for us to throw in $150 their way to keep the decorations going and fresh and all that is a small price for us to pay for our name getting out there.
I agree.
Agree too.
I'll make that motion, then 150 is what they need.
They haven't asked. This is me just suggesting it.
Is that gonna be enough?
I don't know. I mean,
They have a debt.
well, as we mentioned about down there, they have all kinds of decorations from years past, but that's part of it is hoping that some of it gets updated a little bit. I mean, that was just my suggestion. I mean, 250.
Will that include the parade application? Cause I know Stockyards, they charge. What are they charging, Marvin?
I don't remember offhand.
Is it $50 or $75?
75, I'm thinking.
That's what I was thinking
I
too.
forgot that was the big part last year because Fort Worth charged a lot,
Right,
although we're not in it this year.
right.
And I guess Simpson Park doesn't charge, do they?
No, I don't think so.
That's what we say it is, so I would say yes, that we would just pay it out of that.
Okay.
Because they're gonna get y'all to pay it, right? Fill it out and pay it through the
Dave's
city.
already filled it out. I sent it in the other day and I've got to write them a check.
Yeah, so we can take that out of that money.
How much was it again?
I think it was $75.
I was just gonna recommend we set a number and then say, and whatever fees are required. If we don't know what they are, we can still, okay, we know they're not gonna be in 18 parades, so if they're in 3 different parades and they have to have 3 permits, we don't know what they cost, I would just say, let's offer them $300 plus whatever permit fees, whatever permits or fees they must pay.
Well, they had some stuff, we said left over, so we.
Well, my point is like last year when that was kind of me pushing for that, and man, they went out in the attic and brought all this stuff down and telling me about a float that they had years ago, put it all together. Hopefully it gets changed a little bit so it doesn't look identical every year, but I think, yes, that's kind of what happened last year. Like, I went and bought some banners that I would do this year to make sure the quality's very legible and all that.
So it's 250 and what they were asking.
They haven't asked,
Not here, I don't know what.
they didn't ask for any, I'm asking on their behalf.
Well, we
Because
gave them $250
I like representing the city out there.
Yeah, so we gave them I agree, if we gave them 250 last year, that would cover, and they could always come back and ask for
I'll
more
make that
fees.
motion and give them 250 for it.
Is that plus fees or including fees?
You're including fees, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 250.
Okay.
Is that what we did last year when they paid the fee? You said, well,
I don't remember.
they don't have to pay this time.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the big one they don't have to pay. I'm not sure who paid for those, to be honest with you, but I don't think it hurts for EDC to pay them, that's for sure. But,
No, because that's actually economic.
I mean, first of all, when they do this, do they come bring receipts back to you showing what they've spent?
Mhm.
So if they don't spend it, they don't get it.
Right.
So with that being said, that's makes it a little easier too.
But we know the fees for sure gonna happen, so.
Yeah.
And I think,
Was only one that's the fee, the 3 alive, or whatever they call it.
it's the Cowtown Christmas, I think it's Cowtown Christmas in the stockyards. That one they charge, and we are signed up for it. They just hadn't paid it yet. So
What's the one downtown?
downtown, they didn't get in, and yes,
They
they'll
already
charge.
had it, or it's at the deadline's passed?
It's next week.
Oh,
It's 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
okay.
Were they on the
Get earlier every year.
on the Walmart schedule for Christmas?
Right.
I didn't know.
So would you repeat your motion so we understand and get a second and a?
My motion is to give them, what we gave them last year is $250 to go toward the holiday parades.
Okay.
That's inclusive of everything. Now, since they're not here, I'm assuming that that's enough, but I
I
don't
think that's
know.
very acceptable. Like I say, they don't really want to ask, but I want them to do it, so. We have a motion, do we have a second?
I think that's a low one.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Are you out there, Steve?
Yep, I said aye.
Okay, thank you.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Let's see here. The next one is a little bit also odd. So discussion or action requested by President Houck to expand the funds to promote economic development through musical entertainment for the businesses in the strip center located at 5404 through 5412 Red Oaks Boulevard. So that was a little bit misunderstood there, musical. So what's going on is I have been suggesting as president of EDC, I try to go visit all these people, and I've been telling them for a while there, since we haven't done ribbon cuttings at any of the locations right there where Atomic Then and Now, Josefina's, Barbershop, Boulevard Brew, I've been saying, why don't y'all put together, why don't you have a block party and have like, everybody have an open house? I said, you probably talk to Genesis Jiu-Jitsu and probably get their permission to use that and just have a little open house where you invite everybody in. And I've been saying that to them for a while, thinking and saying that I don't know, but you know, EDC would probably contribute. Well, all of a sudden they started talking about holiday parties, and all of a sudden the light bulb went off, and so they're now getting together and talking to each other, and they are planning this. I think it's, what would be the weekend after, our parade's the 9th?
Yes,
What's the Saturday after that?
16.
So I believe that they're planning it the 16th, and so I just thought it would be nice if we help chip in a little bit to try to, and with promotions and stuff like that, to try to get people there and ask
They're
them.
not gonna have any bands though? I thought they were.
Well, that is their plan, yes,
Yeah.
is to get.
So why don't they
not-
put together a little proposal? and bring
Not
it back?
really a band, it's because it'll be over before we have our next meeting. This was put together,
December 16th?
well, they need to be planning it now.
True.
So, this was me throwing this out really quick because they told me they wanted to do that.
How much do we
Wait a minute, we got an
spend
NDC meeting.
on a ribbon cutting?
$150. We give them $150, and then to do whatever they want to, you know, for refreshments or decorations or whatever.
So if we prorated it,
Plus us trying to give the support that I'm hoping that we would do here as well, so. I mean, there's, I think 5 shops, so if we gave $100 per participant,
500.
and kinda, I actually thought, you want to promote your competition, but, you know, they said, well, what about the barber shop? I said, well, the barber shop should be, you don't have to cut hair, but it's a perfect time to have the doors open and invite people in, have refreshments, and there might be people discover them, and part of their customers might discover
It might be a good time to be open.
what's, you know, whatever's around, but then that would be one way to do it. If they don't participate, we don't pay. If Cherry on Top doesn't participate, which I could see them easily not participating or doing all the cooking for everybody. But Josefina's, Atomic Then and Now, and the Boulevard Brew are the ones that are really excited about moving forward. And I think they'll do it without us, but I know, you know, it's hard on new businesses, first of all, so it's
So it's
struggles to do some of this stuff, but yet by combining their efforts, I figured they could all get some.
Well, we would do the ribbon cutting money anyway, so to me, if you get 3, 4, 5 of them are going together, it's cheap.
Yeah, spend $400
And that's why I said, you know, they were talking about, so Boulevard Brew, you know, is on their third owner. I don't know if everybody knows that.
Are they finally open again?
They're open, and I'm excited for them. It's got more energy than it's ever had. We've been there 2 Fridays. Last Friday they had a private party, but the 2 Fridays before that, we popped in there, and wasn't a seat in the house. I mean, it doesn't take many to fill it up, but it was full with a singer-songwriter. It was a good crowd. It was 50% River Oaks people and 50% people that were literally, I'm listening to them saying, can you believe this isn't River Oaks?
Yeah.
You know, literally heard that, and then heard comments about the council. Finally had to open my mouth.
Hi, I'm there.
They're now my good friends. They called me 10 times since then. No, I'm kidding.
They're talking about inside, not parking lot thing, they're talking about all this being inside, is that what?
I don't know. I know, because the discussion originally with me telling them that was, you know, in the spring, and saying, you know, you could have more of a parking lot party, either move all the cars to the very back or set up.
It'd still be smart to have a parking lot, and then because it's cold, you have to go into the individual businesses,
Yeah.
and you get to see what they're doing.
Well, I mean, to me, like I say, that their idea was the Christmas, but it makes perfect sense. You can have little cookies and cocoa and different things at each one, and encourage you just to go, like a gallery night. I don't know if anybody, I've done many gallery nights, and that's exactly what I thought. There you go, yeah.
Get your cookies here, get your coffee over, come see what they're doing. Some people haven't been in there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Why wouldn't we do it all the way down to Italiano's and the Chinese place? Why wouldn't we include all of those too?
We certainly could. I got no problem with it. It's this group that started all being brand new together when I first started having that conversation. Because every single one of them was a brand new business that we hadn't done ribbon cuttings for.
Well, it'd be okay with me, because I'm not the mayor, but when one group of restaurants get promoted and one don't, they won't be calling me, they'll be calling the mayor. So it's okay with me, everyone.
Well, I know that
Well, I think we have to be open to doing this in other areas if we do this.
right. Well, I mean, so first of all, it's just the timeline part of all this, like he's saying, put a proposal together for the next meeting, but I would love to see us put together, you know, get with all the businesses and start talking about have one night a year where you have an open house where you go from business to business, and each one can try to outdo the other to get people in there, and the city benefits, the businesses benefit. But yes, I mean, I would think that we could certainly take the same proposal and go down the street like to those guys and let them know they're doing this. If you want to be part of it, we will.
Because there's semi-new owners down there at the other end. China Express,
Yeah, and
Italianos could use the help.
you know, and I've been in there a couple of times recently, and they've come back uphill. I thought they were very good and kind of went downhill.
Yeah, well, that,
I
I think
think-
when Katie left, the thing went
I think what would be really,
better.
When Mom left.
what would be really fun is to make it like a night market, like a Christmas night market situation every year. And just see, to me, what would be the best way to do this is we have 3 that are definitely want to participate. So maybe we need to do a little marketing now and just say, look, if you would like to participate, we will give you $100 to participate, and make it clear like you're getting a little money to be involved, and then just have a deadline, like they need to have the answer back by December 1st, and then we will dispense funds or whatever by then.
And do we, I don't remember, I'm on so many different committees and everything else. Do we have a December meeting?
Yes,
December, what?
unless y'all vote not to. Or put it on the agenda.
I think we
I
should.
know some of them have been canceled because of
11th?
The 11th. But yeah, I mean, I think that would be cool, and we could definitely, I'm glad to volunteer marketing, you know, make some graphics and stuff, and make a little flyer for the newsletter and all that, and just let them know, like, we'll
But
put
you're
your
gonna have to
own.
coordinate that with the business.
Right,
Well,
but
I
I'm
think she's
saying
talking
that's us.
about marketing to the businesses.
Right,
So let
and
them
just
know it's
saying-
coming,
Right.
I think. is
Yeah,
what you meant.
yeah. And honestly, we could offer it citywide.
Yeah.
And go ahead and just say, like, we're doing a night market, a December night market, and if you are interested, EDC is willing to give you $100 to participate, so you can buy, you know, beverages and stuff like that, and that way it is open to everybody, and then no one's getting mad about it.
So I
you
would
know?
definitely see Jesse participating. Would either one of you?
I would have to think
Because I
about
know
that.
you're not normally open.
We're not normally
but
open.
That's kind of what I'm saying. You can still be open and
Yeah.
have some little,
Now, if we were doing something, like if we were doing something for our center, yes,
For your center?
yep, for the shopping area.
Oh,
Like if it was
okay.
more targeted,
right.
I would
Well, should-
I would definitely.
Well, we got 2 of them here right now. Do
Yeah.
y'all want to start putting something together?
Well, I don't want to take away if we're doing something from them for new business folks down there.
So
Well,
what
but I'm
she's saying is
yeah.
we're talking about making it citywide, not just down there.
I know, but I don't know if we're big enough or have a town square that,
It's just a means, it's like Darren was saying, like a gallery night, like they'll do a gallery night over off Magnolia and all that down there, and they're all pretty spread out. It's not all within walking distance.
Oh, okay.
But it's
They
enough
publish a
that we
map that
could,
goes all over the city, but it started
Right.
down in the,
so maybe, I mean, the point is like, you know, like there's the front porch pottery, I think she would probably be interested in doing it. She's got like a little studio she could open up and maybe do a discount or something. It's just a means to be open for, you know, 2 to 3 hours in the evening. And it's Christmas time, so like for the retail spaces especially, that's a chance to, you know, sell some stuff for Christmas. And like for you could sell gift cards or whatever. It's just a chance to, or you could sell gift cards too as well. So it's like, I don't know, I just think it would be cool to open it up to everybody.
and that is the way the gallery nights work. You'll have, like on Magnolia, you'll have restaurants that will be open, but they'll have, depending on their space, they may have somebody in there selling artwork.
Right.
Or displaying artwork in there. A lot of them do that. They'll have, you know, hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and then have somebody's art on display, you know, where they take part of the restaurant or shop. I mean, like a lot of the, I guess would be gift shops, kind of still have their stuff, but make room and put some art up front or on the sidewalk out front, so.
Or
Those are kind of things that y'all could do as well, but.
you don't even have to have service, just, you know, maybe put some stuff out, like, you know, pick something you want to make. I know you guys have done some catering in the past, like something like that, some drinks, whatever. It's just to get people to come in and be like, oh wow, this is here, essentially. But I think the whole point in opening it up to the entire city is just to avoid any of that, you know, people getting upset that they weren't offered the opportunity. But if we're feeling like it's too close to try and open this citywide, then we could just start with this block and same rules apply.
that would
We
want
can-
more planning time.
Yeah, and that's fair.
So I would think that we move forward with what we're talking about. And if anybody questions anything, they came to us, so yes, we'd be welcome to do the same kind of thing anywhere. And I mentioned to you, that you didn't do a ribbon cutting, but if you're ready to have an anniversary, I would be all for EDC helping promote your success in our city and what you brought to our city, which is
The $1 million chicken fried steak.
that's right.
May I just say, I do think that the same rule should apply about a deadline on those businesses in that strip. If we're gonna keep it to that strip, I think we need to probably reach out to them. You could reach out to them and just say, look, we need your answer by December 1st or whatever if you wanna participate. And that way we're not all agreeing to $500 and we only need $300.
Right,
get
well, I
through
guess
this.
my feeling on that place would be, as $100 per participant,
Yeah, just
up to 500.
There you go.
Or maybe even give them an extra 100 for the first one, so if there is only 3, there's a little bit extra if they wanna hire one of these musicians or something of that nature. But-
Well, or we could just say, if y'all wanna get together as a business, we're willing to give y'all $500, period, and they can just split it up however they want.
So that's however y'all want it, I will go present it, and, I'm excited that I think it's a no-brainer idea for them.
Yeah.
But
No.
I've pushed them for quite a while, and all of a sudden they came out at the same time that everything else is getting here.
So what's the proposal?
Well, I would think that we,
It says there's 1, 2,
How many businesses are there? I'm trying to count the businesses.
okay, so you have the ones that are not normally there, is Cherry on Top, who does these kind of things all the time, so there's no telling whether she would be the head honcho or not involved at all. Cherry on Top, then you have, coming this way, you have Atomic Venom Now, you have Tapers Barber Shop,
3.
and then hosts of, the Boulevard Brew, and then the coffee shop, so there's 5 total.
There's one in the back too.
Oh, that's true.
Who's in the back?
Alpha Wraps, it's an automobile wrap company.
Oh, okay.
The other kind of rap.
The other kind of route.
So, that would be one way to do it, is to do it $100 per participating business up to 500, or we can do 500 and let them do what they want to with it. I can tell you, Boulevard Brew's trying hard, and I think he is probably struggling, although he's doing good on the weekends. So I would encourage all of y'all to go try to buy you a cup of coffee or tea from him or something, first of all, but
I'm glad they're open. I didn't know they were open.
he's real energetic, and I don't know what he's doing, like, promotion-wise, but like I say, he's getting the people in there. And we've stumbled into it, so I don't know what marketing he's doing, because I'm not finding out about,
I haven't heard anything, even from customers,
right, so.
which is kind of,
It's probably on Facebook. He's probably making an event or something on there.
Right.
well, we would probably hear about it. Hey, do you know what's going on down there?
Well, and yes, and I've talked to him about that, about letting us help him help himself.
Yeah.
So he's reaching out to the customers, the friends that he has, and that's probably mostly what it is, but.
So the proposal would be, well, we would offer the 5 businesses down there $500 if they contact us by X date.
Well, do we either want to offer $100 per business with a
$100 per
deadline,
business, if there's 2 of them, it's just,
or just,
you can't buy enough hot dogs with $100.
well, yeah.
Oh,
So just do it,
You gotta make it worth their while. So the ones who wanna do it,
yeah,
the other businesses are still gonna gain from that.
Right.
Which means we're gonna gain from that. So you might as well make it worth their while to do it.
and just say $500 period
Yeah.
to whoever decides to show up,
Yeah.
fine, but
Yeah.
it's $500,
Yeah.
okay. I
And
agree with
It's gonna
that.
be held on this date. So we have some parameters for us.
Sure.
And I can tell y'all, for, different people bring different things to the city, like I've mentioned, I know you bring lots of people to the city from downtown and all that don't live here. Atomic Venom Now, man, I'll tell you what, they're bringing people from Austin, Dallas, they're getting on the map. We my wife and I shopped for that type of furniture when we bought our house, and I wish they'd been here.
Same here.
We went to a place in Houston, we went to a place in Austin, we went to several places in Dallas looking for what they have. But every time I've been in there, I go by there pretty often. It's fun watching because it changes all the time.
It's like 1950s furniture.
Yeah, 1950s modern.
70s.
What was modern in the 50s?
It's all original stuff. They're like an antique dealer, basically, but they focus on that era.
And they refurbish a lot of it.
But anyway, the point being is it's bringing in a lot of people from a lot of different parts of the Metroplex
A
that
lot of snazzy
have
people.
made that comment that I didn't even know this place was here. This is kind of cool. So,
They're doing
The
it.
event they're gonna have is this, are we talking daytime or evening time?
Evening.
I took it to be evening, but I guess I don't know that for a fact. When I started hearing Christmas, I started thinking of Christmas lights and,
It'd be nice too, if, and just kind of off subject, but if we could encourage the businesses to decorate for the holidays and make that a destination. If they had that, since we have the boulevard, we want it to be where people would want to drive through here to look at lights. Or look at, remember, years ago, there you go downtown.
I thought you were shooting me.
No, I'm sorry.
In the
man.
shop
Yeah.
downtown and Leonard's and all those things that you'd see downtown. To me, if we could encourage our businesses along here and even our homeowners to do some type of decoration.
Here was my idea. Now, you're old enough to remember Ridgemar, first of all, when that exploded and lasted for many, many years and slowly faded away. But I had thought about as a city, an EDC could make this much easier if we planned this out, and not this year, but maybe in the future, look at, for instance, buying a certain identical Christmas tree, which really kind of like what he's talking about, the lit up Christmas tree, or something like that, that we could offer by quantity and try to get residents all over the city or up and down the boulevard where they all had matching trees, kind of like these cities that have the horses or the cows in some neighborhoods where they're painting them up and all that. I think it'd be cool to come down the boulevard and just start seeing these trees that match all the way down the boulevard. But
Well, we could do in the meantime, a grand prize for storefront decoration.
that's a really good idea.
And that way people can just do what they wanna do.
Make it
If it don't get stolen.
worth their time, not only
It's real
to attract people, but to get people to come here to look at it.
Yeah,
Be inside decoration.
Yeah, put it in the window.
but yeah, what you're saying doesn't matter. There was a
Don't spend a lot on it.
there was a neighborhood over what I call West Point, where I used to live, west of 820 in Fort Worth. There was a new neighborhood that came up there, and they had a Christmas decorating contest, and it was pretty high stakes. I think first place was like 1,500, second place was 1,000, third place 500 or something. And it was in a brand new neighborhood, and man, you know, these people went all out. You had pride of ownership with people over at their new home and all that. And, you know, for the guy trying to sell houses to all of a sudden now show this community that's half built out, but look at this family feeling, whatever. And I thought it was genius, but if you go by that neighborhood tonight, I will bet you, well, not tonight, but in a few weeks, I haven't been in a couple of years, but 10 years after that, that neighborhood was obvious more decorated than 10 blocks away. It's pretty amazing how that fit on that.
I have a thought off of what we were just talking about. So we could do the competition and we could make it a social media competition that they have to have, like, people vote for them. So that would bring in more people, so they're asking family and friends who don't live in the city. And then another thought is we could do a Christmas decor drive, and it's something we just put in the newsletter and say if you have any old Christmas decorations you don't want anymore, bring them to X location and donate, and then we let the businesses know we've got all this decor for you to use if you want it. And anything we don't use, we can either store it and use for whatever, or we could just donate it to Goodwill. But at least it would be a means for people to get rid of old stuff they're not using. And we can just put in there, it needs to be, like, lights need to work and stuff like that, you know. But that way, businesses are not spending a lot of money. It's free for the most part, and you can just decorate, and we can make it wacky, just, like, go nuts with it, have a theme, and we can even have different prizes. We can have grand prize, and we have best theme, and, you know, things like that.
So
I
we
think
do
it's
that
a
as
little,
parade, we have all kinds of awards for.
so, I mean, that could be
best
really
lights,
cool.
best
Whatever
whatever.
car show, we got a Christmas show. You judge it.
Do what now?
Instead of a car show, the theme, we have
That's
a
right.
Christmas show.
Mayor's
That's right.
pick.
People judge it, we have people's choice time.
There you go. I think it's too close this year, but I don't think we're gonna have enough time. But I do think for next year, we should definitely talk more about it.
What you were saying about buying the trees in quantity. You ever seen those dancing trees? Where you pull up to a block and it's like 4 or 5 houses, and then it'll have a radio station.
Oh, yeah, the computerized, yes.
They were all synced down the boulevard, and at the ends of the boulevard, there was a sign that said, "Turn your radio to this
Yes,
station."
I love that
As they're
idea.
driving down the boulevard, all the trees on the edges are dancing.
That's
Awesome,
amazing.
I own one of those.
Really?
So if you're wanting to hit, you let me know.
That's
I
really
have a
fun.
deal that, yeah, you turn it to a certain radio channel. It doesn't pick up very far. So it's like a low frequency FM, so you put it on a station, but it'll go about, like for a while, real estate companies were using it. And you can set it up and it'll start about, it would probably go 6 houses to put it in perspective, which
But
if it went over, you could get more than one of them, you could make it continue down, but
that is fun though, because we've done a few neighborhoods, like over North Richland Hills, there's one in Arlington, they do the Grinch every year, and you tune in on the radio, and every house, like, they all work together, and they do the story. So, like, you know, one house has the beginning, and then the middle, and the end, and you drive through with the radio, so that could be a fun
that's
thing for
like
each
that
business.
Ridgemar I was talking about, the whole neighborhood used to be, you'd go on one block, and one of the ones I remember was the night before Christmas in Texas, and it would tell the story, but each house had the next page of the story.
Yeah.
And in some of the neighborhoods, some of the streets just had all candy canes,
Yeah.
or whatever, but several of them told the story. Anyway, and I'm sorry, I let us get way off track. So,
I'm not sorry. I think these are great ideas.
and they are, it's just, like, that point, we really can't make a decision on, because it's
Right.
not on the agenda, we weren't supposed to be, but, please, let's don't forget that, and let's get something going next year for sure, and I think we can still, talk about offering this to other businesses if they wanna do it the same night, just like I've talked about having one of these citywide garage sales, you know, even if you like those, there's people that come from other cities to come do that, but then if you don't like it, well, what about if you just get half of the garage sales all done in one weekend and have it over with? Either way, it's kind of a win-win.
I love a citywide garage sale. I think that's awesome.
But, so back to this one on this particular strip center that has already brought it up and asked about it and everything else, so we will keep it in mind that this may be something that we offer to others in the future, and if y'all want, I will reach out to some others to see if they wanna participate, but on this one right here, did we have a motion? I heard several discussions.
Jeremy,
Yes, sir.
interrupt you just for a second.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're talking about the citywide garage sale.
Uh-huh.
And I mentioned to the council one time, but we were traveling in California and came across a community that was having, I can't remember exactly what they called it. It wasn't a citywide garage sale, it was a citywide swap meet.
Yes.
And everybody brought their excess stuff out, and then everyone else went and got other stuff from other people. And it was a really neat, there was no money involved. It
Oh,
was-
that's cool.
Oh, you mean you just took what you took what you were willing to get rid of and put it on the curb, and others did the same? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, what's that?
I'm trying to grasp what you're saying. You're saying that they actually just put them, they just put what they wanted to get rid of, they just put it out and it was free to somebody that wanted it and others would do the
Yeah,
same?
like, this particular one had some sort of an open fairground.
Oh, okay.
People had little spots, that
I
didn't
got
cost anything.
Right.
And they did it, but you could do it different ways. But the point is, instead of money getting involved and all that, it was more of a sustainability effort.
I like
Sure.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
let's not throw anything away, and what I want, somebody else, what I don't want, somebody else wants.
Not to throw away,
And,
but it recurs.
they made sort of a festival almost out of it. It was really
I think that's cool.
That sounds very neat, and I know that, I've never been there, but I've heard for years and years about a city in South Texas called Round Top. And they have a deal similar to, what's out there in East Texas? Canton. Kind of like a Canton, but it's only once a year, and they do the same thing. That's on a big fairground, but then they have the same week that goes on, they have a citywide garage sale. And now what I've been told is it goes as far as 30 miles each direction outside of the city, where people that live on the main highway coming in, they just pull all their stuff out by the fence and have their little miniature garage sales, or one guy might just have one tractor for sale. But I hear it's something that you cannot, you can't come close to seeing it all in one weekend, but I think a lot of those things have a lot of merit, so.
Can I move on the thing for the businesses? Okay, I move that we offer $500 flat for this business effort from Atomic Then and Now and the coffee shop, and that way they can decide who's involved and who's not, and let them spend it how they will. Yeah,
I think as long as you have a date in there.
a date, yeah, as long as it's
Something like-
on
It gets done before.
So he's already got a date.
the.
Okay, so if we want to put a stipulation, we might say 3 or more businesses, because I think there's 3 that will definitely participate. If somebody makes somebody mad and only one of them does it, I don't
Yeah.
want to see them get a $500 check, but.
So are you amending your,
Yes, I'm.
to say 3 or more businesses?
Yes,
I second that.
okay.
We have a motion and a second. Did you understand all that, Steve?
yes, I did.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I swear I'm not trying to spend all y'all's money. It's just working that way. So, update from President Hout regarding new businesses or properties for sale or lease. Well, I watched the guy moving chairs into strip center by you today.
I think it's a bakery.
Where?
Yeah, it is.
Which one?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a bakery.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the one I was talking about, but that was next. So yes, we have a new bakery coming in where Miss Baird's Bakery used to be. Do either one of y'all know anything about it? Is it a
I talked to the guy.
bakery, or is it like a sweet bread?
Sweet bread.
Okay.
Like a Mexican bakery? Okay, awesome.
So they're not,
Well, they have,
Mexican market isn't a competition for that? I know they
They have
sell
a
that,
really
but maybe not that
small-
much.
it's not made there. I think that's
Yeah.
the differences. This
Yeah,
would be like
this would
more
be
fresh.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my
Very
gosh,
cool.
I'm so excited.
And they have just like a very small
What business are you talking about?
variety.
We have a Mexican bakery coming into the old Miss Baird's
Okay.
property.
They had first said it was gonna be an Italian bakery, but the guy himself told me it was a
Kinda like what they have
Mexican
in-
sweet
That's what
Esperanza.
the owner told me. It was gonna be an Italian bakery.
I don't know if it's 2 separate people, but the guy I
Right.
talked to,
Okay, so that'd be interesting either way. I could,
but the Italian bakery guy said that he had a lot of clients because he has another location in Arlington, I believe, and that he already has the clients, so he just needs another spot to
oh,
expand.
very good. That's what we love.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
And then, Raul is opening up a place. Are you familiar with that, Steve?
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So, well, I got the idea, cause, I mean, as far as I know, like the ice cream mans, they're not allowed in, like, River Oaks. But somehow, one of them still managed to get in here, like, probably like a month or a month and a half every Saturday. And, he was pulling up to the front of the barbershop, and everybody would go out, all the barbers, and everybody in there, and the barbershop was empty, everybody was outside, he had a line. And then, besides him, all the other days, everybody walks to the meat market to get a soda or anything. And so I was like, man, why do I have to?
Why not me?
Why? Yeah, I could just be the person next door. I also got the idea because the 5-Star on Long Avenue. I remember as a kid, I used to go there. They had a window on the side of the hair salon, and you could order your snacks through the window. You didn't even have to leave. And I was like, well, before somebody else does it.
There you go.
So you're
I'm
opening
excited.
a snack shop?
Yeah, like snacks and desserts. So it's like corn in a cup. Like I got the idea from the ice cream man. So he had like chips and salsa, like ice cream. Like we're thinking about like mini pancakes and like crepes and stuff.
Where
We also
are you
saw like
going?
crepes on a stick.
Yes, on the crepes.
Yes.
Yes,
Where
I'm with you there.
Or next to my barbershop.
So y'all are gonna take over where the beauty school is supposed to go?
No.
No, where the African market was
Yeah.
gonna go.
I looked at that place for a barber school, but it needs too much work. She ran it down
Okay.
quite a bit.
So where's the location at?
Next to the barbershop, where
Next to yours?
where
Okay.
Texas can.
So that's 2 new businesses in that strip center.
and all that.
Badly needed, man. That's good for
But
everybody.
there was the ice cream place further down the street next to,
Yeah.
SD, not long ago.
Right, and they seem to do a pretty good business.
They just didn't have any parking there. That's
They didn't have parking, and they didn't have, they only had
They ran out of
6 selections at a time. I think that hurts them when people nowadays are used to 51 or more.
That is so exciting, Raul.
I also thought like both businesses could help each other. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like people that go to my barbershop will now, want to go there, and I'm also gonna put a screen at the barbershop, just like kind of playing through the menu.
Yes.
So that,
That's brilliant.
kind of like promote it inside of the barbershop,
Yes.
and then put something over there too to promote my barbershop. So maybe people from the barbershop will go there to get a snack, or maybe some people will go get a snack that never didn't even know about the barbershop, and it helps hand in hand.
This is
You
awesome.
know who you need to talk to? You need to talk to her about creating that content on that screen.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Ribbon cutting events, I don't think we have any scheduled that I know of, and we haven't had any since our last meeting, right?
Nope.
Update on the banners came in, like I said, we ordered 20 more of the Christmas banners. And they are of a similar theme, they're deliberately the same background, but I think it has a Christmas tree on it instead of a snowman, so they'll still match the others, but not be exactly the same thing all the way down the street. And then when we got the stuff up, we found out we were short of the brackets, so we've also ordered 20 brackets, which cost a lot more than the actual banners, so.
And those are those heavy duty brackets.
These are, yes, they're supposed to be more heavy duty than anything we've owned, and not just heavy duty, but there's 2 different types. And they actually recommended the cheaper type, which impressed me, but they have wind capabilities. In other words, one of them has spring loaded where when the wind blows it does that, but he told me that he gets a lot of complaints because the wind's blowing all days, everybody just starts calling in the city saying your banner's twisted again, when the wind stops it comes back. So he said,
When we put up, the brackets didn't seem to hold up, but those second ones
sturdy.
But they still need to zip tie those things.
So these zip tie together, we checked all that for buying the ones last year, so the ones we're buying are, the grommets and all that, you can see really good quality. There's like 4 rows of stitches between the grommet and the edge of it and all the way around the edges. So they're costly, but they're,
Be able to use it
they
again.
should last a long time. But yet, it's not that bad. I mean, they're still half the price of what local was. And this is at Downtown Decorations. But then these other that we bought, they have a fiberglass rod, so it flexes some. So it supposedly holds the wind very well. But he said his banners should never come off, and I don't really see how they would if they've got a twist tie. You know, they're held onto the rod, but then the twist tie makes it where it can only slide so far, you know. So I guess we'll get him up there and see, and he's gonna have a little tutorial. Jeremy and Marvin and I have all agreed to get on a conference call with him as he tells us.
That's not one of the banners on here. Okay. I was just gonna, no, just
No, that's
an
one of-
annual.
That's one of Brent's, I don't know exactly what that one is. Well, I got his attention now, didn't I? Just check to see if you're sleeping.
You're talking about banners and,
There is a banner, there's,
oh, that's,
Marvin put something in here that's,
oh,
But I just didn't want the second annual, because then you couldn't use it anymore. I just wanted-
no, that's on the Facebook event, but it's actually been updated. I just changed it tonight.
Okay.
anyway, so those are ordered, should be going up. I wanted to, I guess still need to, next year's the 75th anniversary, so I still like the idea myself of having some banners made. We don't wanna go all the way down the boulevard, because they're only good for 1 year, but then if we're gonna do it, they need to go up in January, so I'd like to come up with something that, reflects our 75th anniversary, and maybe, my thoughts were maybe putting them like at Roberts Cutoff and River Oaks Boulevard, where there's a lot of traffic, maybe put two on those two poles at that intersection. But,
Well, that, when we did the 50th, we did it out here in front of City Hall.
Yeah, we did.
on the poles, the same type deal,
Well, no,
just regular big banners.
I think we had banners out there.
No, I think it's just a big banner.
They just had a stage put out there, because I know Kate Rangers and some of those people came to speak, and
Really, so I said 4, and I think we really, price point wise, there's economy with scale, so like to buy one is $500. I think it was 6 or 8 that we need to get
So if we did
to.
6, we could put them at either end of the boulevard, and then
Yeah.
you're 2.
You could put them on the city limits, or you could put them at the intersection I'm talking about, or you could put them at the intersection and at City Hall, maybe that island right there. It's just a matter of how everybody feels about it, and,
Well, how much of
and we
it?
could do smaller too. So the ones we're buying now, in fact, I wouldn't want to go that full size. He said we should have never had them that big. That's part of our problems, but if you look at the ones that Castleberry has out there right now, that's like a 3-foot banner, whereas ours is 4 foot, or ours might be 5 foot.
Ours is, it's 84 inches, isn't it?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can get one a little bit smaller, and the ones we're doing now, I think, are just less, they're $200 each.
Yeah, I think there were some.
Two-sided each for, that is a
30 by 84.
Yeah, 30 by 84.
so that's a two-sided banner that would be one side of a pole. And you can put them up just one side, but so one pole would be twice that, in other words. But all the same brackets would work, so we wouldn't have to buy those.
I guess I don't understand what you're talking about on the poles.
So maybe we could,
Did we have any pictures of the pole banners? So last year at Christmas and this year, we have,
Going across?
so there were a bracket where you have the light pole down the center of the boulevard. You have a big light, and then we have brackets that hold banners on either side of it, going down.
Oh, the little, these guys?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm with you now.
So like I said, we're trying to build that back up to where eventually, I guess it goes all the way down the boulevard with our winter theme. We try to buy them where it doesn't say Christmas or holiday, even though it has that holiday, but hopefully it extends the colder months by having snowflakes and snowmen and now a tree. Anyway. But yeah, so these would only be for one, so I could go get cheaper ones that might tear up before we're done with them, or we could get a smaller quantity of quality ones. Like I say, I think the quality ones, we probably need to get at least 6, and I think that brings them down to about 200 apiece. Of course, the other side of that is we're also talking about putting them up, you know, equivalent to 4 years of the other ones probably, if we put them up in January and left them up through the end of the year. Yeah, they're gonna be up a lot longer than what our other banners are per year as well, so.
Can we not do like I may sound really dumb when I say this, like a sticker situation? Like a vinyl sticker that can go on our existing banners that says 75 years, like a gold medallion type thing with 75 years for those, so we're not having to print all new ones?
Well, they wouldn't fit on what we have now unless, I'm not as familiar with the ones that we have at the city limits now. They're red. Do they have the logo on it now?
Yeah, they have
Those aren't there anymore.
They're down?
That's what Jeremy told me earlier.
Yeah, they're down right now, but when they were up, that's what.
So why did they get taken down?
Because they're beat up.
I'm just wondering if it's necessary to do all of them that way, if there is some kind of temporary thing we could put on. Otherwise, I would suggest we do every other one, instead of having every single one.
Well, we're not gonna do it, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We can't afford to do that for
Okay.
1 year. I was talking about just having like 6 of them or
Okay.
8 of them. So you basically either be doing our major intersection or doing in front of City Hall or doing the city limits. So if you did 2 per pole, see that'd be 8 if you did both ends of the boulevard and both ends of Roberts Cutoff. Or you could put, to me, you could put 4 of them at Roberts Cutoff and River Oaks Boulevard, and then maybe put a couple more right out here in front of City Hall. But may not be a good idea, I don't know. One of the things is, with you saying that, we might be able to look, part of what I was thinking about doing is just putting, and I probably should talk to you, putting a 75th anniversary above our existing logo, and then going below that and saying, you know, 1949 to 2024.
Yeah.
But it might be that we could do those in a way to where, when that's over, we cover them up with something else. I will say one of the things that the banner guy said is they're out of, they've got locations everywhere, but their Texas location is in New Barnesville. And here I am talking about our 75th anniversary, and he said, well, when we had our 175th anniversary, he said we actually auctioned them off, or like a couple of them were auctioned off for fundraisers, and then some of them were like they people autographed them or whatever and gave them to somebody that had, you know, as an honorary type thing.
Left one for inside City Hall.
Huh?
Left one in a display in City Hall.
Yeah. So here, if somebody had a nice restaurant with memorabilia around it, you know.
75th anniversary flag and take the regular city flag down and replace it. Let it
I'd really
fly
do
that
something
whole
like
year.
I'd really do something like that.
The city
The
flag.
more we get, yeah, one time, one place, the more we get into banners, I start glazing over because that banner is good for about 1 second after you get it up. Then you start getting calls from citizens, and we all know this, and you can dispute me, but you'll be wrong. It's too high, it's too low, I can't see it, it's dirty, take them down, it's out of season. We've had so many more discussions.
Twisted.
What's that?
It's
Like
twisted.
my neighbor.
We've had more discussions about
I
those.
think we know who he's talking about.
So wasn't saying anybody's names. I think it's a great idea to put one out front. It's shows it, and then I think there's some maybe suggested expenditure that we update the mayor list or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we could do something internally like with whatever you wanna do, these things or some, you know, some gimmick. some gimmies.
Or a logo that goes on everyone's signature on emails and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I think the idea, I think it's a great idea. One flag, when we're over done with it, we don't have to take it down. Sometimes what we do is we take out 4, we put up 6, we take down 4, and then we have long conversations about, what about those other 2?
Right?
I do like
Well, that would be one of the questions. So our flags that we get now, is there, I'm assuming there's a economy of scale there too. You can't just get,
Oh, yeah, you gotta get some money.
so do you know what that is?
No, I don't, but I can find out.
I would rather invest in a flag that stays up.
And then take the city flag down for that length of time.
And it could stay up for longer than.
Yeah, no, what I'm talking about is to have a custom-made flag representing that. You can't just buy one flag. You're
I
gonna have
don't
to
think
buy,
you can.
kinda like these banners. I can buy one, but it's $500. By the time you get to 6, it's already down to $200.
Yeah, but by the time you get to 6, you spent $1,200 instead of $500.
I was
Right.
gonna say, I still think, I
Yeah.
like Dan's idea, I think it was your idea, one flag, put it out in front of City Hall, and if it costs more, then obviously they gotta make the plate and the print and all that.
Yeah.
Well, and we could actually have regular banners, you know, we could put a big banner up
Hang it off the city.
for probably the amount of one of those flags and put it out there, put it,
Well,
beside the flag, attached to the flag poles maybe, I don't know, I'm not looking at that right now, but something of that nature.
those little 3x5 banners that Jordan had printed for the Churchill Market were only $80 at the print shop, and that's really good.
Right.
So that's something we could do. I also think it might be kind of cool. This is also getting off topic, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. I think it would be fun to do a celebration for the 75th.
No, that's definitely what
Okay.
we're talking about.
And I think it would be cool to do like a late 1940s, early 50s theme, you know? So I just think that would be,
Theme party, that's what
yeah.
you do. Yeah.
And then it would be kind of cool to have some kind of a, I don't know, like something we can have here at City Hall for the 75th.
Well, I'm hoping that we'll have several events throughout the year, some that are specifically for that, maybe some others might just kind of be tagged that since they're going on anyway, you know.
Well, what I was saying is by the something, I mean like a plaque or something like that can hang here at City Hall.
Right.
And then not spend so much on the exterior decor, but then we could promote a 75th anniversary party at the community center and do like a big, you know, brouhaha type thing. Anyway, that's getting off topic, but
So, yes, I definitely would like to see us do several things like that, and that's good, and that's fine. The biggest thing was if we were gonna do that, they needed to get ordered now to have them in January to get the most use out of them, so.
okay.
And Darren, I think we need to get sort of all the groups involved in the planning of that, why, because we know, you know, the ladies on the council are gonna have, opinions on some of that as well, so.
So that would have kind of,
Everything.
yeah, my opinion is that would have come up after getting approval of money, because right now, most of that comes from here on these kind of things, as you know. But yeah, and part of my thoughts was if we were, you know, I think I mentioned it at the other council meeting, maybe even having a logo designing contest or something, but then on the other end, it's keep it simple. You can just put a 75th banner above our existing logo, and like some of these things that could be covered up later on, or
Just removed, yeah.
yeah. But anyway, that, like I say, the banners, that was just part of that thought, is to try to get, if we were going to do something that needs to move forward, and there's a lot of stuff to get in the way this time of year already. But
So what action are you looking for?
I guess none. I guess the consensus is not to do the pole banners for 75th.
I'd like to look at the price of it and the flag, even if it's a one-off. I'd just like to see a price.
I would too.
Price for it,
The flag. For the
Flag?
75th.
I can send that cost to all of you.
So what we need to know is what quantity do you have to buy? And
Well,
then there again,
I'll find all that out, and
it also means it could be changed out throughout the year too if it's.
I suggest one here and one at our community center.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Community center?
Is there a flagpole there?
2 city buildings that have flagpoles.
Yeah.
You have one at the park, but I don't know if you wanna do that.
Well, if we're,
I would have it.
so we can look into that anyway, but I think if we're gonna do it, can you see if you could have that for us by the next meeting, so we
Sure.
can, if we're gonna invest money in a 1-year project, I'd like to see us try to get it up, and the official date is January 11th.
January 11th, the day that they approved the charter for the city, and it was filed of record. I think it was January 18th.
Yep. So which one are you going with? The 18th?
I
guess
thought it was
that's-
the 11th, that's when the city passed the charter.
Okay. So,
That's what we always use, but I mean,
yeah,
we can do whatever. We ought to have something on January 11th, I know that.
okay. And we look to see what day of the week that falls on.
I have it.
Thursday.
Thursday. Was hoping to have that things done for the mayors, but you could maybe have all that together.
Unveil it at the same time,
Yeah.
okay. So I don't think there is an actual motion, we just trying to get information whether to move forward with that or not.
I'll bring it back to the next meeting, just let me get,
Yeah,
I'll search it out.
so executive director's report.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to tell you, that it's not proceeding like we had hoped up here at, the convenience store. We're not gonna be through in October, 1st of November, ain't even got the concrete down yet.
Is that what it's delays?
Yeah, and so we've already, last time we said we were shooting for October, early November, this is already middle
All
November.
right,
It's not
You
gonna
talked to
happen
him?
until that first of the year, so unless y'all want, I mean, we're just moving the permits on, we're not doing anything, charging or anything,
well, I would say if there's no reason to charge for something we're not doing.
yeah, so. But I mean, it's not finished, is what.
Right, but,
I had thought originally that building was gonna be further down that lot, 'cause it looked like to me when they come out of that drive-through, they hit long pretty quick there.
They do.
That's gonna be a traffic nightmare, I think.
there's a lot of
That's why I had that one pole moved, I got Encore to move it. That'll help some, but it won't do what I think he wants to
But
do.
I was thinking that building set deeper in that lot, and that they were gonna be able to pull around. But he's gonna be right out in the traffic now when people come out of that.
That's a big building,
Yeah,
huge.
I stopped by there today, just looking at that, and I thought, that's not how I envisioned it when we,
I think it changed several times between TxDOT and,
okay.
I know, I've
And
seen
go around
3
that
different
building,
plans.
it's going on the backside too, with all of that, so.
And what do they end up doing with that parking? Are they doing the angle parking like they wanted to?
That was the last thing he told me, but it changes.
Yeah. I don't guess I care, just get it open.
But I'm just telling you, they're not gonna make November either. It's-
I just wanted to open so people quit asking me, hey, what's that thing down
What is that?
Yeah,
I go, yeah, I call it a money pit.
there's still people saying it's a car wash, now they can get a car wash.
Well, somebody wanted to do it at one time.
We asked
Well, I knew that, but
Yeah.
there's still, when you look at it, you can tell it's not a car wash.
Right. Marvin, have you talked to him asking what the actual holdup is?
We asked him to give us a date that he, we met with his contractor and him.
Was that the
We
day I
need
was
some
down there?
kind of date, and
Was that the day I was down there?
No,
You've been down there
just
since?
recently.
Oh, okay.
so he's having trouble with his contractors, I know that.
His contractor assistant said they were gonna be lucky to be open by February.
Yeah, I don't see it any closer in February.
Well, they're sitting there, I mean, you look up and there's 10 crews at once going like crazy, and then 2 weeks of not a single soul being there, or so it appears, just passing by.
So unless y'all have any problems with that, I'm just telling you, it's not gonna meet the deadline.
Not much you can do.
Just, as long as you just get it open.
Yeah, I'd say wait until there's something to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking about the 75th anniversary, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about, so.
And Greg,
And Greg's plaque, she really can't make more than one trip out, correct?
Red Hendrickson.
Greg's wife,
Yeah, she's limited in her travels in the evening. She is, I talked with her and she is bringing, a lady's gonna drive her down.
But she's coming tomorrow night.
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Good.
Y'all, you know, we were gonna try to do EDC and then do the council, but that's just not feasible.
Yeah, and I think it's appropriate from the council, because he did more than, EDC was probably the biggest thing he did.
Yeah.
He certainly did a lot of other things as well for the city, so.
So that's how we set it up. I didn't want nobody to be upset. And I got the plaque in there if you wanna look at it. I intended to set it up here in a little bit.
So, for you new guys, Greg Henderson is somebody that passed away, a year ago?
Yeah, December 31st.
Is that right? And he served on EDC for many years, as well as, he was one of your storm spotters, wasn't he, with,
Yeah,
Mount
for 10
Sinai?
years. And, also Parks Board, he was on there.
Park boards, storm
Planning
water,
and zoning.
planning and
I
zoning.
mean, it's just a whole bunch of things, and then utilizing what he did for a profession that we could utilize within our own city, and so that we know rather what somebody's telling us is right or wrong. And, it was very, valuable to have a lot of information, especially in construction.
What did he do for a living?
He was a backhoe operator,
Oh, really?
big, moving dirt around, putting in stormwater pipes. You know, the thing that we need drastically in our own city.
Right. Oh, okay.
And, he did that all over, not only in the Metroplex, but also outside of the Metroplex.
And it appeared that he had a pretty big business after he retired of, lawnmower repair.
Yeah, he loved those. He'd buy them in the wintertime and sell them in the summer.
Oh, so
But
that-
if you know a good junk man, I've got a bunch of good steel for him on those things.
trying to get rid of those
Yeah,
now.
yeah, because, you know, he was, I don't know anybody that's gonna repair it, you know, so,
Well, I've got a guy that used to rebuild the carburetors, and he now
yeah.
has told me recently that he goes online and buys a whole new carburetor, it's cheaper than
You
what
bet.
he can rebuild it for, so. All right, well, that's very good. Anybody else have anything that they want to report before we close this meeting? Anything else?
No, sir, not really. I put a copy of the text amendments in there. When we talk about business, that's going to PNC on Monday night, the 20th,
Right,
and then to the city council on the 28th of November.
okay. All right, Dan, you got anything for us?
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Raul, Heaven,
I'll take Evan, that's nice.
Thank you, guys. We'll close this meeting at 7:32 PM. Appreciate all of